Hi, everyone. Okay, now the mic is gone. I'm Max. I actually recently started at Team Cymru, working at Team Cymru. So this is the first time I'm delivering this presentation, and it's also a plethora of services that I didn't fully know about some of them before I joined. So where do I come from? I used to work at Internet Society, RIPE-NCC. I founded an ISP in Italy beginning of the century. And basically, I run also my own ASN, which helps me test things whenever I want. So some of these services that I'm going to show you, I actually use them for myself. And let me say, this is a little drier than the presentation that Melchior did. So it's going to be hard being after him. But there's one thing that might have popped up for you on these slides, and the mission for Team Cymru. It's broad. It says to save and improve human lives. And I still, personally, I wouldn't say I struggle, but it's really broad. And it reflects the breadth of what you'll see in a moment. So what do we do? Team Cymru has a commercial service, but I'm not here to talk about that because I don't deal with that. I'm part of the outreach team, and as part of that team, we offer some services. The most well-known of all of these is the bogons. I keep meeting people, and they say, "Oh, I know Team Cymru because of the bogons," and that's the tip of the iceberg. So you can get what are bogons first of all? Does anybody have any idea? Would anybody help me? Yes. Space that should not be in the routing table. This is the easiest definition. There is a lot more to that. But what Team Cymru does is there's a process that every hour generates a new file or adds announcements to the BGP service. So you can get this information in different ways. And the best one is the BGP peering. But I personally prefer the HTTP files. You download, and then you process, and then you put into your routers. So this service helps you basically protect your network from traffic that should come from sources that are not supposed to be used. So networks that are not supposed to be seen on the internet. And this is the most, like the source with the most authority. Everybody uses it. Now, there's one thing I'm trying to add, and it's the basically adding it to the available over. The next version we want to add is slurm files. So you can put them into your validators, and they cover the whole address, the unassigned, unallocated address space covered with AS0. So that is something that's coming. I've been trying to push it internally for the last month, and it's supposed to be coming. So this one is the first. The biggest service that people know about, but we also have an IP-to-ASN service. Basically, you want to figure out who is announcing, not who's supposed to, who is announcing a certain address space. You can put the IP address there, and then you get the advertising ASN as an answer to it. And that's also delivered via WHOIS, DNS, HTTPS, so you can use it however you want. WHOIS is the most popular that we see being used, but also you can do bulk mode. So you can, if you want to see a bunch of IP addresses, can be also hundreds, all at the same time, you can submit it as one block and then get one single answer with all the definitions, with all the ASNs all together. You can do that as well. Then we have a service that specifically for CSIRTs, and it can be for national, regional. We have about 100 of them using this, and contains, basically it's a feed that contains threat intelligence. That's the core of the business from Team Cymru, but it's specific for their jurisdiction to different partners. So basically that helps them contact the victims of certain attacks, of certain threats, and get in touch with them and see what they can do to remedy for that. Now, this is one that is dedicated to things, but we also have the hash registry for malware. That is basically if you have seen a virus or something attacking your systems, you could take a hash of that and you can search through it to see what it actually is. We have a system that creates all these hashes daily, generates new ones every day because we get more information from different partners. And this is also available via WHOIS, DNS, HTTPS. You could do, we also have an API, but you have to register for that because we want to make sure those who submit requests are indexed so we don't get abuse on that. There is a system that's built into, it's a ZIG, that's a monitoring system for security, and you can use the functionality from our malware detection hash registry there. And this is an example of how the page is. You can submit your hash, and then you get immediate response about what that is. And then the other part that is well known from Team Cymru. Actually, this is a service that could be integrated together with entities' black hole system. Basically, this is the same concept, but it's done distributedly. So you can register your network, and you start peering with us over a multi-hop BGP session. And whenever you have one of your IP addresses or a part of your network that is under attack, you can start announcing it over that BGP session. And the idea is that the other peers on the system will start blackholing whatever you announce on that. And that will help distributedly lower the amount of traffic that should be reaching you for that IP addresses. At the moment, we have over 750 partner networks, but the more, the better. And we are actually working on the next version of the service. So if you have any ideas on how to improve it or anything to add, I'm happy to listen because we're in the design phase for the next version of this service. One thing to note is that flow spec is also supported, so you can go, you can automate everything, and you can basically go down to more detailed filtering. So the idea is that UTRS creates a whole group of operators or of networks that all work together to help the internet be better, because you announce things that should be filtered on it, of course, from your part of the network, but there are discussions about expanding it and making it so that you can also propose parts of the internet that you see are generating threats or traffic that's unwanted. So this goes together with Nimbus, which is the heart of what we do. Nimbus is our NetFlow analyzer, but not only. Actually, it actually shows you also all the threat intelligence that happens about your network. So when you start sharing a NetFlow with us, we can return you whatever we see that is generated by bad actors or traffic that should not be happening on your network, or CPEs that have been made part of a botnet, or anything that should not be happening in your network security-wise, we can tell you. And Nimbus can help you visualize that. It also has an API that you can query to get all the notifications, all the alerts of what's happening in your network. And I use it personally for my own little part of the internet, my own little ASN, and it has allowed me to figure out that there were some things happening in there. There were some things that should have not been there, some scanners that were tackling my system. I could use the alerts from Nimbus to generate PF rules, packet filter rules, to filter out some of the networks that were generating scans. And I could do it on the fly because it was being seen directly by the system. Here we have 600 active partners. But the other thing that, well, I mentioned Nimbus does have an API, and what you can use it is to integrate it into your own systems, and over time that can become more and more useful. So this is an idea of how what Nimbus looks like. Basically, it's similar to any other NetFlow analyzer, but the addition of the threat intelligence makes it a little bit more specialized later on. Okay, so what can you do to protect? You can actually become also a partner for us, and this is for hosters or for also IXPs. You can become a partner, and then we have a multi-tenant threat monitor that is basically Nimbus given to you as something for both you and your members or your customers, and basically does whatever Nimbus does, but it does it in a sort of a white label system. And one important part that I wanted to show here is just the bad actors variant. You can also only give us information about the to or from known sources or destinations of malicious traffic. So this reduces the amount of data that you have to share to get insights into what's happening in your network, but it's also something that many people have asked for because they didn't want to give us everything. So there is a sign-up page, but also you could see all the QR codes up there, and you can actually go directly to those links. This is an example of IXP Protect and VPS Protect, which gives you insights about what's happening in all the networks, all the parts below under your users. And then we have, this is something that's coming new, bulletproof hosting providers list and a block list. So there are certain providers that are known to be hosting a lot of bad actors and a lot of malware, a lot of C2 actors. And we're preparing a system where you can get a list of those, a list of their IP addresses, so you can use that to filter them out and basically reduce the potential threats that can come from the internet. It would be only available to community members, and it's coming later in 2026. It's a list that we've built, and it's been used internally for a while, so it's an extremely high confidence block list that you could use to improve parts of your security in your network. But last but not least, because then that will be quick, we have two main type of events that we organize every year. There's Underground Economy, which is happening always the first full week of September. It's in Strasbourg, and it's a 4-day event. It's quite long. You meet with law enforcement agencies, people who run networks, security experts, and there's also financial sector. So this happens just once a year, but we also have regional security events. It's 2 smaller events that happen 3 times a year. The last one was about a month ago in Ireland, well, the capital of Ireland, in Dublin, in Ireland. This is a smaller type of event, and if you would like to join, you can talk to me. I can point you to their websites. Underground Economy has a limited number of seats, but a lot of requests. So I'm not sure about that, but for RISE, that's easier to get you into and give you more information about it. Having said this, I know I stand between you and the end of the program, and beers maybe. So if you have any questions about the services, I'm available at those 2 email addresses, and I'm happy to answer any questions you might have now. Thank you.
Let's have a look if there are any questions.
Let's see.
Oh,
there's one. At least.
There's one. Tobias. Microphone is coming, Tobias. Although your voice carries far.
It's always the same.
Yeah. Thank you. Tobias Hiebich, TU Wien. What do you say about the privacy implications of the NetFlow data sharing with Team Cymru, given the reports from 2023 of Cymru sharing this information with US counterintelligence?
I know. That's a common question we get all the time. There are...
Well, of course.
Yes, because most people ask us, like, what happens when I share information with you? We do have ties with the law enforcement agencies, and we do that. We do use that data partially also to do some investigations. As you can see, law enforcement agencies are coming to our events, and we have specific services for them. But that is the most I can tell you about that. Like the data you give us, mostly we use it for providing back information to you. Use it to also see the other side of attacks or threats that are happening for our customers or our data partners. And then there is a retention policy that I think is 90 days. So after that, it gets just anonymized and it becomes part of but gets removed from the database. So we do have some rules that try to make sense, but at the same time, we need to see into that data to be able to give information about all the threats.
Thank you, Tobias.
Thank you.
Any final questions to Massimiliano?
Max is easier, don't worry.
Like to pronounce it a couple of times.
No questions. I see you really want your beers.
Yes, I think so.
Okay.
Can I get a warm applause for Max?
Thank you, then.
Thank you, Max.
Thank you.
Thank you.